It may be hard to believe now, but 15 years ago, this area was a massive construction site, a neighborhood reborn after Hurricane Katrina. Among the people that came here to build homes with their very own hands, President Jimmy Carter. For Michael Harris, life is about the simple joys found in it. Sitting on his front porch, playing his guitar.
I say let the music play.
Harris is a New Orleans musician who has played around the world, but his greatest second act may be his role of homeowner in a New Orleans neighborhood known as Musicians Village.
To be a musician, living in a place called a Musicians Village, that's like further affirmation of the importance of what we do.
Harris lost everything during Hurricane Katrina, but found a way home and more.
That's how I wound up meeting President Carter.
Habitat for Humanity helped build the more than 80 homes that make up Musicians Village, a neighborhood specifically designed to help New Orleans musicians who lost their homes in Hurricane Katrina. President Jimmy Carter and his wife, Rosalynn, were right there, side by side with residents, rebuilding this community one nail at a time.
I shook his hand, and he was just a very warm, approachable, accessible person, very humble man.
Somebody that I know came by and said, yeah, Jimmy Carter's in there. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. He's here. He's actually, he's Mr. Habitat.
In the living room of her Musicians Village home, singer-songwriter Margie Perez keeps a framed photo of her meeting President Carter during the neighborhood build.
He was just so kind and just this little guy wearing an Atlanta Braves baseball cap, and he felt like one of us. From the day he left his presidency, he's just been putting himself towards service in making communities better.
He was very hands-on. He would get the hammer out and actually do the work.
Jay Huffstatler with the New Orleans area Habitat for Humanity says President Carter made 3 separate trips after Hurricane Katrina, working on Habitat for Humanity homes in the region.
He's our most famous volunteer. A lot of folks think that President Carter runs Habitat when you talk to him, but we just like to tell them that, hey, he's our best volunteer that we have. He makes sure that he's making a difference in the communities across the United States and across the globe.
Back in Musicians Village, Michael Harris says he looks at his neighborhood with gratitude for everyone who took the time and put in the work to make it a reality, including President Carter.
I have a place to call home. It is one of the best feelings in the world. And it was all because of people like President Carter. I'm a living example of what he stands for as far as public service and changing lives. It changed my life.
In his decades of work with Habitat for Humanity, the nonprofit says President Jimmy Carter personally worked on more than 4,300 homes, a legacy that's still standing here in Musicians Village. Maya Rodriguez, Scripps News, New Orleans.